In this video, we're going to be going over Ionic Lewis dot structures. In Ionic Lewis dot structures, there are some rules, such as like charges cannot touch, such as anions and cations. An anion should have 8 dots, while the cation should have no dots. And the dots represent the valence electrons, by the way, from the Lewis structure video, elemental Lewis structure. Anions would always be in brackets with the charge outside. So we're going to go through 2 examples. The first one is going to be strontium phosphide, and we know for a fact the formula is Sr3Np with the 2. So we know now how many strontiums we have and how many phosphoruses we have. Since this is a 3, we're going to start it off. Sr with 3, and Sr on the periodic table has 2 valence electrons, and if we do elemental Lewis, we have 1 over here, and then 2 up here, and then now we have phosphorus, and if we look on the periodic table, phosphorus has 5 valence electrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then strontium again with 2, and then we're just gonna go do this really quickly. And strontium again, since we have the 3rd one. Now we're gonna use arrows to indicate where the dots are going. So 1 over here, 1 down here. Doesn't have to be pretty. 1 over here, and then 1 down here, and then now since this is missing, we still have these 2. So finish it off. It doesn't have to be pretty, so it doesn't hurt to make it pretty. So now we're gonna draw it as a Ionic Lewis dot structure. So the next step would be putting Sr, which is the cation because it's going first, with 2 plus because it's giving away 2 valence electrons. And now with brackets, we're going to do phosphorus with 8 dots because it took away those 2, or took away 3, with 3 negative, and then we just keep going, 2 plus, and then let's pretend that this is on the same line. And that's how you write the Ionic Lewis dot structure. And maybe a better example, let's do a potassium sulfide, and we know that the formula for potassium sulfide is K, and then sulfide is S, sulfur. No, that's the nomenclature rule. K has only 1, so we're not going to write it, and S is 6 is going to take away 2 valence electron with 2 in the middle here because they switch it. Now we know that there are 2 potassiums and only 1 sulfur, so we're going to write it like that. Potassium only has 1, which makes our lives a little bit easier, so we're just going to give it only 1 dot. And then sulfur has 6 because if on the periodic table we see that sulfur is on the 6th column, and it has 6 valence electrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then now it should be easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over here. So just checking, just to make sure. Now we're gonna write it in Ionic Lewis dot like we just did for strontium phosphide. So we're going to do K, and since K is potassium is our cation, it shouldn't have any dots around it, and it's giving away 1, so we have a 1 plus charge, while sulfur in brackets, of course, and 8 dots around it, would have 8 dots because it took away 2, so we're gonna give it a 2 negative charge. With K, the same thing, and we can't have like charges touch, so sulfur is right in between, so they can't touch.